The Marcus Deegan Show.
Oh, my God.
Pretty good. Pretty good, John. Really good.
What's the story, guys? Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Deegan, shooting from Sin City, Las Vegas, the place of bright lights, world title fights, and lots of delights. Great to have you back here for another episode of the podcast. It's been a minute. Oh, there we go. I'm at this camera right here. There we go. It's been a minute, but I'm back in the studio with some very... well, we've got some Australians in the building. We've even got the man. I can't believe I've been working for you for 6 months and you still haven't been on the podcast yet. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I have, haven't I?
No.
Where was the invite? I've never been invited.
Hey.
It was forced.
Wait, he invited me.
That's how we roll at Sticky Paws here. The boss doesn't even get an invite. My guest invited him on. Thanks for coming on, John.
Yeah, man.
You're here early today. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We've got a great episode for you here today. You know, what I really love about this job is that you get to talk to people that are not only influential, we get to talk to people from the sporting world, but this podcast isn't just about MMA and about sports. It's about people that have great ideas. It's about people that have a vision of something that you would think is totally impossible, and they bring it to light. Let's, for instance, think about this. Hey, let's put a beach in the desert in Las Vegas and make beautiful waves out of it, and let's get everyone... What? You say that to someone 10 years ago, they would have thought you were absolutely fucking crazy. But no, it is not like that. Actually, dreams do become a reality. Can we roll that first clip here? Check this out, guys. This is going to blow your mind, guys.
All Aaron.
Surfing is a lifestyle. It's something that people do their whole life. They travel the world searching for beaches, the best waves, the best breaks.
It's groundbreaking. 5 waves in simultaneous fashion, they all break at the same time.
You've got an expert riding the wave at the same time as an absolute beginner, at the same time as an intermediate, and literally a break for everyone, as our motto says.
I think many of the people approach us because they see these wonderful waves and they think this is a great amenity and a sense
he's
of
good
attraction.
looking.
And as they explore it with us, they understand there's actually many more layers of benefits. But then when they realise that, there's also, I guess, the fact that with that you're creating 800 metres of absolute beachfront with perfect surf. So that actually is a developer's dream. They can capture incredible value and release that with retail, commercial, residential precincts around it. So it's like taking a mini Gold Coast and planting it anywhere in the world that you want.
So the throughput per hour is absolutely
Where'd
critical.
it go?
By
This is
producing
I don't know, but he's going to get a smack if I ever see him again.
over 2,000 waves an hour, if you've got 200 or 300
My favourite
people in the
break,
water
the
for each
girls'
session,
break.
you're going to have more people around the outside. So it could be the mum, her kids are in there surfing, she's hanging around. It increases the revenue, not just of the surf park, the number of waves that you're selling, it increases the
beginner
revenue
action.
of food and beverage.
John's Orlando's
accommodation, everything.
This is
The
incredible.
other compelling force here is the fact that surfing
It's the only
has
360
been
pool in
placed
the
in the
world.
Olympics for the first time. For that to become a sustainable ongoing exercise, you're going to need wave pools. But you'll
Wait
need
for the
wave
big
pools
ones,
that produce overhead barrels
Seriously, right
with variety, with challenge, with excitement. We've got all that.
Wow.
Well, if we look at it from a broader community engagement perspective, it's not just about the riding waves. There's so many different options to a surf lake that can benefit the community broadly. And again, turn the waves off and you have a fantastic facility for
Clean lake, a clean lake
even
mean.
sailing, for kayaking, for triathlons, for anything that's water-based.
We realised in discussions with licensees that many of them have either site constraints or they're just not in a current surf market. And so the concept of having overhead barrels in some countries is really not needed, or not yet. And so many
Not
of them
yet.
wanted to have a
Not yet,
version
but it
which
will.
is
Thanks,
really a-
Travis. Let's talk about. Let's talk about. How do you even think of that concept? Well, we're going to find out right now. The founder, the inventor, the owner, the man that put this brilliant idea together. I don't know if he was on mushrooms, if he'd had a few drinks when he thought about it. Where do these ideas come from? Because I never have these $1 million ideas. If I want $1 million idea, you know where I go? I fucking ask John Orlando. He'll tell me exactly what the
Don't
next-
ask me now because I'm drunk.
You've had one shot. Guys, would you welcome to the podcast, Aaron Travis? How are you, brother?
Hey, good, mate. Yeah,
Just push
great
that,
to be
bring
here.
that mic up a little bit more on you, mate. Yeah,
little
pull that.
closer. Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, brother.
Pleasure.
You are the first Aussie I've had on the show since I've been
Yeah.
shooting here at Sticky Paws.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
good to hear
You
from
understand me still? It's
I do.
okay?
I do. Have you taken on any of the American lingo since you've been over here?
Just water.
Water.
Just so I can get some because I ask for water and they look at me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I feel you there on that one. How long have you been in America for?
Look, I've only been here for a month
Yeah.
living, but I've been back and forth many times. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, just
just
moved to
learned-
SoCal.
What did
Yeah.
you learn this morning?
Wait.
Yeah.
Why did you move there and not Vegas? You're doing this in Vegas.
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, that's all right. Well, you got Trestles, Oceanside. There's existing beaches there now.
She's starting
so
off with a
Okay.
It'll come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tori's setting up an apartment for us already. I just got to convince my wife. Vegas
All
is
right.
good, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great
He's
here.
learning Spanish, though. He learned Spanish this morning. Huevos,
Yeah,
rancheros.
huevos.
Yeah,
rancheros.
that means ballsack in Spanish. Is that what does it mean, ballsack? So, bro,
bad.
you've only been over here a month, so
Yeah.
you're living here permanently now in America.
Yep, got a visa.
And
Can't stay.
why now?
Well, we developed this technology with a whole team. It's not just me. There's Kit Sidwell and a whole bunch of others, Ruben. And we'd been selling the license for the technology out around the world. And, of course, the US is so huge and such a big response. It became obvious last year. We just need to be here. So we're now a US company headquartered in, America.
How many of these functioning? What's the official name? What do you call it?
Just surf park. So it's a surf lake. That's our concentric, everyone just calls it the plunger.
Right, the plunger. The plunger.
We've come up with all sorts of names. Like, that plunger thing. Yeah, so
The
we're
Mad
the
Max,
big
the
plunger.
surf lake.
yeah.
technology.
So how many of those functioning plungers are working around the world right now?
Well, we've only got the one in Australia. So
Right.
it's being upgraded to be a commercial park. So it's fully approved now. We're getting funding in for that one.
Now, is this
So
in a
we're
place
just
where there's no
starting.
beaches?
There is beaches there, but they can be anywhere. I mean, you can have a surf market where they want to have this all day, all night. But you take it to Dallas or Austin or Tampa or, Vegas.
Yeah.
There's
So
so
in,
many people that want to use it.
in Australia, why would someone that lives near a surf break want to use the plunge? What's the difference and what's the advantages of it?
Yeah, just having that absolute predictability, right? So you've got waves that are perfect all the time to yourself. So I was living at Gold Coast and great surfing location, but even that, it's not every day that you have waves, not every
No.
day you have good waves, and then you go to Snapper Rocks and it's just bedlam. There's
500 people,
Yeah.
sharks,
Yeah.
time, temperature.
And you can dial up the size of the wave.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So you can do small, medium, large, So some of the stuff we're producing now, you got overhead barrels, which is a bit beyond my pay grade. I'll be on the longboard at the beach break, but still
Yeah.
progressing to that. It's amazing.
So how do you get to achieve all those waves at the same time?
Well, we've got that central mechanism,
Yep.
and that puts out a big swell, and then we shape each of the reefs differently. So you might have a fast barrel on one side, a rolling beach break off
It's called
there.
bathymetry.
Bathymetry.
The underground engineering shape of the bottom is
The
what
reef.
creates the type of wave. Like a black diamond skiing or a blue is kind of flatter. It's kind of that kind of concept.
That's it, yeah.
It's pretty deep. He came up with it just
Skimming rocks with the kids, and as dad.
Okay, so this was my point earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
Where was the initial ping? Hang on a minute.
I was skimming rocks with my three kids at a lake, and as dads do, you show off. You get ever bigger boulders and throw it in. And I was watching these ripples come out, and it was a smooth shoreline, and these little waves were just barreling off. I thought
They were
wow.
actually barreling off
yeah,
from just
like
the rock.
just and I thought, hang on, because I'd had another idea previously for a type of wave pool concept. Didn't do anything with that, and I saw that and thought that would work with a bigger rock, right? So we had to figure out
Yeah.
how big does it have to be, and now we have. We've
And
figured it
then
out.
I saw the journey on YouTube where you got a paddock,
yeah,
you dug a fucking hole,
yeah,
you filled it with water,
Yeah.
and you began to experiment.
yes.
And that's how it all started.
Yeah. I had to figure it out before I could go and ask for money because, I didn't know how it worked. So I had to go and scratch around and try it. And, I had my son jumping up and down on the plunger to figure out, what's the best way to shape this. So it was a lot of hands-on, raw experimentation before I got into taking money and actually building machines.
and you've had multiple prototypes.
Oh,
since you
yeah.
started off with-
How long did it take to get it dialed into where it is now?
Well, that was it's been a 12-year journey. So I started in 2012 tinkering, and then 2016. So that was 4 years before we built the first automated one. So I had a mate who pitched in some money, and then we built this machine that actually worked, and then we've been scaling up ever since. So 2018, we got big waves at Yeppoon.
Can I ask how much it costs to bring this to life?
So far, we've raised 35 million Australian dollars.
Wow.
So, and we've got some revenue coming in now. We get 5 million a year in US revenue, and so
Oh, wow.
forth. So it's a real business.
Yeah.
But we're not quite
Yes.
profitable yet.
10, 12
but-
years of risk and 20 million.
Sure.
Yeah, that's right. So it's been
20
a
million
real
bucks.
labour of love. Yeah.
20 million of your own money.
US dollars.
US, no, investors.
Oh, got it.
So we've
Okay,
got
okay.
like 450 shareholders now.
Wow.
So people all over the world have got behind it and said,
I
"Hey,
would think people jumped on this, right? Because it's genius. Like when you see that video, I mean, that's crazy, man. It looks.
really
I have
looks-
been saying for about 6 months now, the Sphere is the biggest thing that's ever hit Las Vegas, that will ever hit Las Vegas. I'm going to change that statement right now. I'm telling you, Marcus Deegan. That idea he's got is the biggest thing that Vegas has ever seen, period. I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, John.
It's going to kill it.
We feel the same.
It's so
literally
cool.
$1 billion.
I'm not even a beach guy, and I think it's cool.
Well, I think the beauty of it is that someone that's not a beach guy can go and actually surf for the first time ever because
Well, slow down. I didn't say I was going to do that.
I'm assuming the paddling out isn't that far, right?
Like, it's so ridiculously simple. You've got a still lake, and you can just paddle out gently, sit there, and then these waves appear, and they're perfect, and they feel like the ocean. Like it's really nuts. It's this fantasy.
Instead of going
push
along a
button
wall,
wave.
it actually goes to the beach.
And something you haven't started marketing yet, which you should, shark-free waters, people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially in your poon, because there's a lot of them there.
Oh yeah, a couple of crocs, couple of sharks.
Yeah.
No fun.
But then
Yeah.
again, you could be working out on the beach.
Yeah.
You can do your
This
laps,
is
you can
really cool.
rollerblade. Marcus can
Thank
walk
you.
with his shirt off.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I got to get rid of this bitchy first, and then I'll do it. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so how long has it been going in Australia for now?
So we got first waves in 2018.
Yep.
Then we broke it, fixed it. We've been prototyping. So this is a full-scale prototype. And then
That people pay to go and use?
No. It's just been private invitations. So we've had, all sorts of surfers and locals and, friends and shareholders who turn up, and we've been filming that and promoting it to the world. Then people see it and lose their mind. We had one
Yeah.
video, 18 million views across
Yeah, I
the
mean,
world.
Hemsworth is going there. Chris Hemsworth, he goes a lot with
Yeah.
his family and loves it. Fisher, the DJ, loves it. I mean, there's a very
Yeah.
small invite, but that's the point. They're commercializing it
Does
now. the
Dana
next year.
surf? Dana
No,
surfs,
but you
right?
know
No?
who does surf?
No, he went to-
Bruce Buffer is an avid
Oh, that's right.
He is an avid surfer. As you mentioned, it cuts out a lot of things. The reason why a lot of people wouldn't surf, and to surfers, it's kind of maybe a little ridiculous, but to some people that don't surf, for one, fear of water.
Oh, yeah.
For two, fear of sharks, fear of drowning.
Yeah.
Cold water. I'm sure the water temperature is acclimated to
Yes,
wherever you
we
are.
can warm it year round.
Right?
Yeah.
But, is that right?
We're gonna warm it year
Fucking
round.
hell, mate. Geez, you guys keep coming
We're
up with
gonna
these
check all the
ideas.
boxes.
So you've been a surfer your whole life. Have you been in the surf culture?
No.
Coming from your poon, you would have had to.
Well,
Tell
yeah.
about you're up. What you did. You're a coal miner.
Yeah, we were. So I grew up in Yeppoon. I discovered the beach and surfing. So I used to walk, 10 miles up to the beach on a Saturday because, we had no cars or anything. I grew up at the beach, loving
Yeah.
it. Then moved away from the beach and got married and become responsible. So surfing got further and further away. And then I got inspired by this and a whole journey around that. But then, my wife let me do it. So,
And that, my friend, is the key to everything.
yes.
Because if the wife didn't want any of it,
Yeah.
this would just still be a pipe dream.
Yeah, that's right. And
Because
you got to
they
understand
rule.
how serious this is. We were joking about the UFC conversations. My wife, as a teenager, was the 5 times national judo champion. So when I say I'm a little cautious about upsetting her, it's for real. So permission's a good thing.
Yeah. That's so funny that you're like when you say a coal miner, you're like
Yeah, I was a
underground.
underground mining engineer. Did my
Where?
time at the face. This was west of Mackay, a place called North Ganyellan in
And what were you mining?
Moranbah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, coking coal for making steel. Yeah.
You're getting coal, and big old guys, and he's a pretty big dude, would throw him around and be like,
Yeah, it was a bit of a training ground, so
Oh no,
it was
absolutely. You would have
intense, yeah.
you would have got your thick skin there working in the
Yes,
mines, right?
absolutely.
Maybe your technical engineering ideas came a little bit out of there as well, and your
yeah.
work ethic, I'm sure, because
Yes.
you that's no joke. That's like going out and surf fishing in the Bering Sea for
Yes.
you know what I mean. It's that kind of hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
it's-
finding
it's-
God,
it's
too, in the
hardcore.
darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long would you be under for? Just 8
Well,
hour, 10 hour, 12 hour
12-hour
shifts?
shifts. So you do 4 12-hour shifts and then go back to Mackay.
12 hours in the
Yeah.
darkness.
Yeah, so So it
underground.
was,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
So I mean, I laugh about it because on the crew we had guys with nicknames like Yeti, Caveman, Psycho, Soccer Ball Head.
What was
I
yours?
What was yours? Yeah.
Yeah. The polite one was Wingnut the Destroyer. Because I used to,
Set of ears on you?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know what a
Break-
wing nut is?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if
That's
that's
what
an.
I was
It's like a screw that's got two things sticking out. So if you
Like a
got
jug
big,
head,
yeah, if you got big ears, you're a wing nut.
Yeah.
Now I can't see them because, but I did notice that I did notice that the headphones were bulging out a little bit more. I wasn't sure if
Built for
young-
listening, right?
Yeah. So what's the goal, man? What's the like with this? Like, is it about money? Is it about bringing your idea and goal to life and having feeling accomplished? What's the goal?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a bit of all of that. I mean, it wasn't when I first got started. It was a real spiritual epiphany, which we got a whole nother podcast for that. But it was something I just needed to do. I felt called to do it, and so it worked. And then I looked at the business opportunity around it, and it became pretty obvious that hey, this thing can make serious money. Then you can get the investors. And at every point, it got better and better. And then you look at the market for it because surf parks were just getting started when I got started.
Kelly Slater, he's got his going. Yeah,
That's right.
helped
You got
justify the
Wave Garden
industry.
and Kelly Slater.
Yeah.
Wave Garden started 10 years before us, and now you see it. It's enormous. I mean, we can see at least 1,000 surf parks in the world. So what started as this spark of inspiration, idea, and a curiosity, yeah, I need to prove this and show it works, has become a global multi-billion-dollar opportunity.
and plus you're 12 years in now. You ain't pulling out
That's
now.
it. Yeah. I got to finish the job, man.
12 years
Yeah.
in, $25 million,
Yeah.
and you're just getting started.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and that's
Like
the thing.
literally, you're on the precipice of exploding this to the world.
We are at the starting line now. One in California is pretty close. There's one in Austin, Texas, and then Vegas here. Wow, this can be the biggest show on earth.
Which opens first? Will it be Vegas?
Australia,
Australia.
California. Vegas is a bigger project, so it'll take a while. But again, it's really it's funding, right?
And
You
the
throw enough
Review
money, you can
Journal,
accelerate
the
through.
Review Journal just wrote about you guys or something, right? I
I mean,
saw
there
it
was
on
like an
Instagram.
April
or-
Fool's story that kind
Oh,
of
it
threw up
was?
a thing. A guy said wave pool's coming soon. There'll probably be a couple wave pools in Vegas, and there's a lot of.
Well, there already is. There's a little one at.
Yeah, there's little linear. ones
That's
at
Mickey
Mandalay
Mouse,
Bay.
though. That doesn't
it's not
count.
really
Bay.
A
That's
wave
not
pool is like
this.
that's something that you like sit in up to your knees and the
Right.
waves splash you
So-
on the.
So every
Splash
city
pools.
will have a couple of these little linear pools, but Surf Lake's what brought me to it as a lifelong surfer was it was most real and it's the
Yeah.
only 360 circular.
Yeah.
Every other one's a linear, you're going along a wall.
Right.
This is like you're going towards the beach. It feels like you're in an ocean. The machine will be wrapped and it'll be nice. So there'll be wave pools in every city. So some April Fool's joke came out that some rumor got out that
Okay.
we're doing this big wave
But
pool
guess what?
project
That's
and
good though.
whatever.
That's kind of good.
So, and, so
Because that's only going to draw it towards you guys anyway, right?
like,
so you
come
can
here.
still wakeboard there, and there's going to be no motorized
Electric.
boats.
You can do electric stuff.
Oh, right, you can.
Yeah, I mean it's big enough. So we've had jet ski clubs contact us who want to do competitions.
Scuba
jumping
diving.
away,
I was going to say the
sailing boats,
sponsorships has
whatever.
got to be.
Yeah,
No.
Scuba diving.
James Cameron has a scuba
Yeah.
diving, not a competition, but more like a really elite training where he goes underwater and they go through obstacles. There's this whole free diving. James Cameron, a couple of Avatar guys, and he's like, "Can we put this underground gym where we can train underwater?" Man, the amount of thoughts that have gone into the things you
Really?
can do with
Yeah.
a big
Wow.
clean lake.
will it be
It's a mini
saltwater?
ocean.
A touch of salt is the goal. Yeah.
Sand?
Okay.
Is it sand?
Not in the water, but obviously
the
around the
perimeter.
beach. Yes.
So what's
Glorious.
how deep is it?
Well, it varies. So you got the shallow reefs and the deep channels that goes down to the core. So that's why the scuba would be done in the channels, right? And then the reefs vary from 4 meters. I'm thinking in American feet here now. You're like 13,
12 feet.
12
So
feet.
10 feet.
How big's the one in your poon?
It's full size, so it's like a 10-acre lagoon.
What?
Yeah,
And
so
what, how
like
big-
4 soccer
How big's the whole
fields.
site? 50 acres?
Oh, it's a 100-acre site,
100
yeah.
acres.
So it'll be a full eco surf destination. So instead of flying to Bali or the Maldives, you'll go there and you'll have guaranteed waves, tropical paradise.
Yoga,
It is gonna be
classes,
epic.
hiking.
Yeah.
There's rainforest
And-
next to Yapoon. Like I
Yeah.
didn't even know there's full rainforest, a Great Barrier Reef. So
Yep.
I'm like, why
And
not
now-
fly there?
Look how many successful lame ass things have been
Exactly.
so successful here in Vegas. The fountain,
Yeah.
the volcano, and those things were huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even Mandalay Bay, small pool doesn't really work. No real waves. Like let's go.
Right.
This is a
steroids
no-brainer
times
here,
10.
guys. This is generational
Times
wealth
10.
right here.
Beachfront condos,
Yes,
maybe?
of course.
Well, that's
villas floating over the water. The whole deal. Yeah.
God.
John won't
Essentially,
leave
you've
the villa.
got,
This
you've got
is
half
crazy.
a mile of beachfront. It's like taking half a mile of Huntington Beach or Newport or Laguna Beach, and you're bringing it to Vegas, but the waves are perfect day, night, every time. Like it's it really is like a time
Night
machine.
surfs, the
You're
whole
going
thing.
back
The
and-
whole
and
thing.
taking that real
24
estate
hours.
early, yeah.
So you'd have big,
Podcast
obviously
studio.
huge big spot. What was that?
The podcast studio on the water.
Yeah.
Huh?
Imagine
We already
that.
have a studio plan. I got you guys. Water view, strip view.
Looking out into the waves. Right?
Yes.
That'd be epic.
And you
Yeah.
could be working out right on the beach, throw some iron around, you and John boxing a little.
He is. I wish I was half the man he thinks I am.
Lots of regards
So,
to John.
so the funny thing is it's funny how kind of everyone, kind of like from different parts of the world, from decades ago,
Yeah.
have kind of all come together in this little bit. For one, I've known Tori online over the phone.
Yeah.
He knows my brother-in-law from Australia.
Uh-huh.
Your employee Ruben, is he? Would you say he's an
He's a
employee?
co-founder.
He's a
Ruben's-
co-founder.
Founder.
Yeah.
He knows your brother well. They grew
Yeah.
up together with you.
Right. So I've known Ruben and his brother for 30 years.
Yep.
How are you finding America now? Like living here is a little different than just coming over and visiting.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
No, it's good, man. I mean, I've been used to it. I've been driving on this side of the road for a while, so I haven't had any major incidents. So it's good.
Yeah.
But it's just huge. I mean, Australia's like one small state of America. So
Yeah.
you come here, it's like 40 Australias stacked together. So
Yeah.
it's very good. Good opportunity. And they almost understand me. So, with Tori's help, I managed to get around the
How do you understand him, Tori?
Only half the time.
Only half the time.
He
Yeah.
just smiles. Yeah.
So who have you got on board as far as professional surfers? I saw you got Oki up there. He was
Yeah.
doing Mark Ockalupe. Mark Ockalupe, he's a good mate of
he's
mine.
amazing
I
guy.
fucking love it. And one of the greatest surfers of all time.
yeah, yeah.
His
yeah.
stories he could tell.
For a while,
Aki's
yeah.
a legend. He's just the coolest guy ever.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been great. Like he absolutely loves what we're doing. and
Aki's
he's been
amazing.
Such a great
And
fan.
then Dingo's amazing.
We got Dingo, Barton Lynch.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
his names.
we got-
Dingo, Aki, Barton.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's just soulful guys. Soulful.
Yeah.
And once again, it's like, and it's probably hard for you to understand, but surfing culture is a way of life. It's
Yeah.
it's almost spiritual in
Come
a
on,
sense.
I saw Point Break. I know.
That's one of the best.
I know.
That's one of the best.
I know
movies.
what's up.
No,
That's a great.
you
movie.
only truly understand when you watch North Shore.
Yeah.
Then you really get it.
Okay.
It's more of a romance.
yeah.
Aaron's a hopeless romantic.
But the whole spiritual side of surfing is something that comes along with the sport. Would you call surfing a sport?
It is, yeah.
Is it a sport now?
It's in the Olympics this summer.
It's a pastime.
That's
it's
right.
a way of life. It's Olympic sport. So it's all of that. And that's the thing that with this, we're not just creating beach. It's not just waves. There's this whole interconnected thing, this lifestyle that comes with it. So it can be anything you want. You can be this chilling in the water, or you could be aiming for the Olympics, and it all happens in that one spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the big
Wow.
thing for surfing. It's going to be in the Olympics this summer because it's Paris Olympics, but they're using French Polynesia, Tahiti as a territory, and they're going to have it at one of those scariest, shallowest, sharpest, biggest wave spots, Teopu,
Yeah.
and it's going to be huge in July, August. Like surfing in the Olympics, and then again in 2028, which is when it's in LA. So that's a summertime
Got it.
surfing sport. So I think you're going to see the next 3-5 years surfing kind of really get on the mainstream in that regards.
So here's another question that I just thought about when I was thinking about the plunger. Is it the same wave over and over and over again? The same height, the same barrel, comes out at the same time? Is it exactly the same thing?
No, they change the height. When it goes up and down, the different heights. If he doesn't bring the machine all the way up and only halfway, the wave's half as big and will break a little different. But the same reef is usually the same spot. So,
Right.
is that right? Like the black
Yeah.
diamond's a black diamond, a blue's a
is.
blue.
And we produce a set of waves. So you might do 4 or 5 waves. So wave 1's slightly smaller. Wave 2's absolutely perfect. Wave 3's a little bit different. So there's some subtle differences. But, you'd still call each one an absolutely perfect wave.
Yeah.
by
But you would
ocean
do an
standards.
expert reef as an expert reef. A beginner reef is a beginner area. It'll
Mm-hmm.
always be that. But then you add in wind and other stuff. And believe it or not, the factors kind of change. The wave will change with winds and height of water. There's a lot of little factors.
See, what you're doing is, and I don't think that anyone ever thought that it would be able to be done before, is you are creating something that's naturally on Earth
Yes.
that people travel millions of miles to do. That is, you only get that experience when you're in that particular place. You are taking that, making it, but better.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it is.
You're taking all the bullshit away that goes with it.
all the
yeah.
hassles.
Right? All the
problems.
hassle, all the drama, and you're making it
Exactly.
easy and you're making it accessible. And the beauty of it is, it's not just for professional surfers.
Correct.
Right? It's not just for the guys like Kelly Slater's is more for professional surfers, right? This
Kelly's is very advanced, very tough. It can be
It's
done by
amazing.
beginners, but it's
Yeah.
a perfect wave. But it's tough. his wave, I've surfed them all, and his wave, you can really be a complete beginner and enjoy it and feel comfortable all the way to an expert. That's what makes this place different.
Wow.
And it's because of this guy right here. I mean, he went through a couple times, John and Mark, and he'd tell me when he was like, look, I'm done. I have my last bucket of water to fill this thing up. I have no money. My wife's pissed. My family's upset.
I can imagine. I mean, that's a long time, right?
There's been heavy moments.
3 years is a long time.
Heavy.
Yeah.
3 years to try to go from concept to a finished product. People go, you've been talking about that for a long time. I mean, you must have so many people that are like, bro, stop, let it go already.
That's right. Yeah.
So how do you push past that when you're in that state? When you're in that the last bucket of water position? How do you push past that?
Yeah. Look, for me, it's a spiritual thing. It's very much a calling, and so I've got a Christian faith, and I just have total belief that this was meant to be.
So your faith has a lot to do with this. I'm inspired by that, and that's fascinating to me. That Father God has a part and parcel in this opportunity.
Yeah, no, that's it, and I can tell you the entire story, but I had a very dramatic near-death experience, which led me to this belief, and then. Interestingly, through
you can't just say,
yeah. You're not just going to skip off of that.
Can we elaborate a little bit on that one there, please, Az?
Are you ready, though? That's the
Yeah,
question.
absolutely.
We're ready.
We're ready.
Wait, do I need another shot?
Do I need to take another dose?
Yeah, you might need the shot.
Yeah, no, it was like 94. So I was working in the mines, and anyway, I don't know what happened, but one night I just stopped breathing. So I was completely alert, like I was aware of what was going on.
In the mine?
No, this was at home, and then my throat had closed up, and I just couldn't breathe. And
Holy shit.
it reached the point of I'm struggling where I literally left my body. I started falling away. And it was interesting because I had all these Christians, share their faith with me. And I said, it's good for you, but not for me. Thanks very much. And at that moment, it was ridiculously obvious that, hey,
You were dying.
I'm gone. I was actually out of my body. And so in that instant, I realized, hey, it's all true. We are spiritual. There is a God. I've rejected this God over and over and over and over so many times. And now this is my choice where I'm going. And it was beyond terrifying. I don't have the words to describe it. And so at that moment, the only thing in my mind was crying out to Jesus, which I did. And then I felt myself stop, come back into my body. I opened my eyes and tried to sit up instinctively, but I couldn't move and I wasn't breathing. Then my throat released and I could breathe again and my head was pounding. I moved my hands and moved my feet. And then I sat at the edge of the bed just trembling and breathing and I prayed for the first time ever in my life and just said, God, I'll do anything you ask, but I can't go there. And I just had this sense of peace. And the next week, a guy gave me a Bible on a plane and I surrendered and started going to church. And then tying it in with this, years later, I'd actually given up my career to go and work for a Christian organization. I was there 2 months and I just felt the Holy Spirit say, that circular wave pool idea, that's your assignment.
That's your inner self was saying that to you, but it was the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So when it's not me.
Yourself, right?
That's
Yep.
right. It's like, wow, okay. And I was actually a bit cranky because I just sold everything to go to live in Canberra. And he's saying, go build wave pools. Like, really? Like, this makes no sense.
You could have told me this a month ago.
Yeah, okay. Would have been helpful, right? So anyway, I just sat on it and I said, here's the deal. If this is from you and not me having some caffeine brain spasm, you'll tell me when. Yeah, I was not microdosing. Yeah. That's right. Should have been. So I just said, look, if this is from you, you'll tell me when, who, how. In fact, it's your project, not mine. I'm standing by for the next instruction. So for 3 years, I worked there until I felt it was time. And then I had to explain to my wife, it's like, what are we doing next? Well, funny thing,
Right.
God's telling me to build wave pools. Like, oh my God.
You know what? I know nothing about your wife, but what I do know is she is the most amazing woman on the face of the
You
earth.
got no idea, man. And so I think she was hoping it just wouldn't work and I'd go get a real job.
And he was in the back pool dropping little blocks, like I sent you that picture of him dropping blocks in a pool. His
Yeah, can we pull that picture
his
up,
wife's like,
Trav?
what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm sending waves into the
That's
neighbors.
it. That's
Wait,
it.
that's how it all began?
Yes, that's
began.
it.
Yeah.
In his backyard, just dropping this weight, and his wife's like,
And just
what is
studying-
going on?
Trying to figure it out. Like, what the heck? How do I do this,
Wow.
So
Can you imagine his poor wife looking out the window just going,
Right
That's
after they
my
moved-
man.
look at the neighbour.
Yeah.
Right after they moved, sober too, completely.
What have I married? Yeah. That was,
How does she feel about all this now? Now
Oh,
she's
no,
like,
she-
okay, I get it.
she's into it. It's
Yeah.
fine. She really doesn't like surfing, doesn't even like sand, but she's willing to roll along and move to
Yeah.
America. So she's been great. I mean,
What a legend. What's her name?
Lynn.
Lynn. Oh, that's my mother's name, by the way. Lynn, you are a legend, my friend.
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
No, so she,
Wow, that's a great story.
So she's the real founder. The rest of us just work for her. You know,
Right.
that's how it plays out.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so then I went to a friend's paddock and we just started figuring out and raising money. And then, years later, we get to these giant waves. And as I said, it just gets better every time. So now we're at the starting line of this 12 years later thinking, oh, my gosh, this
Finally
is
become pretty real.
enormous. Like, had no idea then, like literally no idea that it would be anything, that I'd be sitting in Vegas talking to you and looking at these giant projects. It's really crazy. But it's fun. We love it.
And it's all based on kind of like, if you look back at the healing and the Holy Spirit, it's kind of like what brought me with Aaron was I was like genuine guy, hardworking, good people to work with, but also just an amazing idea that I think could heal and help exercise and help just make a big difference.
Yeah.
You're like a wave pool, you're going to spend money on this. Why are you doing it? I was like, when you get the feel of surfing or exercising or running or swimming, you come out feeling so much better with your life.
It's
And I
the
was like,
only
it'll
sport
work.
in the world that will take your hangover away straight away. Is
Salt
if you
water,
go for a
sun,
surf. Yep.
swim, and you come out almost every time feeling like, I'm so glad I did that. And with Aaron, I was like, it couldn't be a better human to team up with and help push his invention and creation because it's so amazing.
You know what's funny is that in this day and age, Jesus Christ is a swear word to this generation, but people don't realize the power that when you truly believe and use that name and shout and call upon that name, people don't understand the power that has.
World changing.
Yeah.
Life changing, world changing. You're right, world changing.
Yeah.
And was it coal, you think? Was it coal dust? Or was it like just kind of the body shutting down from working so hard?
No,
Did you ever...
look, I really don't know. I mean, I didn't, someone said, "You go see a doctor?" It's like, are you kidding me? What am I going to say? I died last night, but now I'm fine. Like, you don't talk about that. You just
you work in a coal mine every day. They're like, you got coal dust.
I kept that a secret for a long time, I didn't want to tell anyone. So it just was what it was.
The coal mine's such a risky profession. That's probably one of the most dangerous professions you can
it's up there. It's up there.
I had a few close calls, and that was
seismic,
not just from
dust,
Yeti, but from others as well.
So have you probably seen that? I mean, just completely off subject here for a second, but you probably watched that that documentary of those 19 Thai boys that got caught underneath the cabins and the rocks. Was it in Thai?
I didn't watch it because I thought it's pretty heavy. I don't know that I want to watch it.
Yeah. It'll take your breath away.
Yeah,
well, the seal died trying to save him. And
right.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to actually put the kids to sleep
to get them through.
so dark and so.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the other. What's the other?
Oh, you're
one?
thinking of the Mexican guys that got caught in the mine.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
There's
of that.
another one.
I'm
For
thinking
you.
of that.
Chilean ones, the Mexican,
The Chilean ones, right? The movie, right?
Every year, there's like mine.
I mean, what possesses you to pick a profession like that? The money is the only thing, right? When you're that, it's the money. The money.
Yeah.
Because you'd go out for 6 weeks and come home for 4?
No, it was only 4 days on, 4 days off. But
Oh, shit, that's it?
Yeah, piece of cake. But no, it's because the whole family background. Dad was in the mines, Mum was in the mines, her father was the mines rescue guy. Like, we had a history there, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did electrical engineering and kept falling asleep. It's like so boring. And then I did 2 years of civil, struggle with that. Yeah, so I did finally finish. It took me 9 years, 5 unis, 3 different streams of engineering, but I did get 1 degree in the end, so that was good. And So it was a great career, but I was going to be more and more away from home, and I had
Mining
Lynn
and gold
1
mining.
daughter.
How much of that degree did you use in the plunger in Surf
Well,
Lake?
it helped because mining's big equipment. You're not scared of big stuff, so
Right.
that's really where it helped. And I did use some of the maths in the process, but really I've got really smart engineers now, like Kit Sidwell and a whole bunch of others that have come on board to do the real engineering. So I'm now #1 salesman, inventor, and entrepreneur, whereas the team have really got the credit. So Kit Sidwell's the co-inventor. We've given him that title because he figured out how to do this at scale.
And Kit is
He's a mechanical engineer.
the Aussie guy?
He's he's a Kiwi.
He's
actually.
a
Sorry. Yeah, I should. Okay, he's almost Aussie.
He's
been there long enough.
Kiwi, Aussie, what's the difference, right?
No,
No,
great
there's
guy.
there's a difference, mate. There's a difference. Canadian,
John.
American, what's the difference?
James Bonner.
These fucking guys.
North America, right, John?
These fucking guys.
Kiwi, Australian.
They all sound the same.
Yeah, I
to
know,
us.
right?
Yeah,
we all
that's
say the
right,
same.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Same, act the same.
So no, look, we have a great crew. They've
You gotta have a good team.
refined through the process, and they're so dedicated. And like I said, we're now launching into the commercial ones, and people don't understand what's coming. I'll give you one idea. We had a guy who was a minor shareholder, wealthy property family. He came up to visit with Occy one day, and we were only medium-sized waves. Like, it wasn't even the full-size waves. This guy had shares in a surf boat in Indonesia, like he'd surfed all the best breaks in the world. You'd think he'd be pretty hard to impress. But our marketing director Tom said, I think he's hugged me 5 times today. And he was just losing his mind at what we've created. He went home and put $1 million in the company the next day. He said, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I am in big time.
So it's funny that you say that, and I'm sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's the reaction that you get from everybody.
Yeah. It is.
Right?
It is.
Because once I'd started delving into it a little bit more, once Tori had sent me a bunch of information and things like that, and I really started looking into the product and the company, I was fucking blown away. Like seriously, for lack of a better word, I was fucking absolutely blown away.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the reaction of everyone that gets it. I started filming people watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
And there was just so much swearing in it. I thought, forget it. We did the silent reaction.
Yeah, I know.
It was so funny. No, it was great. It was really funny.
But that's the reaction that you want, right, bro? Because that means that if you're constantly getting that reaction, that says something straight away.
Yeah, right? When you look at that, I mean, you just go, I want to see it. I want to be there.
I want to be part of it. I want to surf it.
Yeah.
So it's like the sphere, but more experience during the day and more exercise based.
Yeah, you can live there.
Now let's go to that other clip that I sent you, Travis, the Gold Coast clip, just so we can see what a real and
the Gold Coast too. And
I mean, the Gold Coast.
There's gold mines, and that's a funny thing. I took him to the Golden Nugget last night, John, and I said, this is kind of where Wynn started off as manager, owned it. And I go, the hand of faith or the hand of God, that Golden Nugget's there with the Golden Nugget Casino in Vegas is based after. And he looked, and it was found right by where he grew up. He goes, that Golden Nugget was found right by where we grew up. And I was like, the chances of Vegas and Australia coming back full circle.
Oh, yeah, man. So this right here is, actually, this is from my hometown in Australia. A pretty popular place where, but see, you see these rocks here? You see those rocks right there? They don't just stick, they actually are under the water as well. So you have to be.
Yeah, you mess up, you hit them.
You have to be really professional and know what you're doing to do this kind of stuff, right? Because it can end your life. It's no fucking joke.
That's like 6 inches of water, rocks and sand.
Yep. Yeah.
No joke.
And a lot of surfers.
Yeah,
and a lot of surfers.
That's not showing that either, John. There's probably 500 people out right there.
Oh, really?
You're getting in fist fights. You're pushing people out of the way. Unless you're the top 5-10 surfers in the world, when they go out, everyone else is. I mean, it's territorial. There's no real lifeguards or.
So you're creating this right here. You're creating barrels like this. Yeah. Now that right there has got to be something that everyone wants to experience. Is going through a barrel, pushing your hand along that wave, and experiencing that tunnel of water.
Kelly Slater. And
there he is right there.
Oh, that's Jay. That was Jay dropping in on Kelly. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And that's how it works, John. It's like unless you have a small crew of boys are the best, or you're the best fist fighter. In surfing, it's very tribal. Into that, like Point Break.
Wow.
It feels like that. But we're going to make it where it's more contained and safe because you get your wave like a ski lift. You're in a circle. Everyone's in. It's a controlled, clean environment. Whereas in public, there's no marshal, there's no lifeguard. It's like free for all.
But who wouldn't like this?
I mean, the sponsorship opportunities for this are mindless.
Yeah.
Billabong. I mean, everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Every single thing in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
From suntan lotion to clothing to food
cars,
to everything.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, like I said, you're creating a surf city, right?
Right.
And all
in the
of
desert.
the infrastructure that goes around that, right?
Fuck.
So it's like you're recreating California out here, only it'll be better.
So let's talk about this. So you guys, Tori, who is going to be experiencing part of this wonderful deal that we've got worked out for the next month where I'm going to be promoting? You guys are going to be talking about this. I'm going to be showing the videos during the podcast. I'm going to be telling everybody that comes on the podcast about it to check it out because I know that a lot of these athletes that I bring on here are going to be fascinated by this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the athletes from maybe the UFC or the combat world has been exposed to anything like this before because when it comes to being an athlete, you're sports orientated.
Uriah Faber, right?
Oh, yeah, Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
But Bruce Buffer, I'm telling you.
Bruce Buffer, right. I forgot that about him. I think Brad Tavares, maybe, just right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gavin and Duncan next door. I think Duncan, GM next door, who helped build the performance center with Dana.
Yeah.
He's an Australian great surfer. They go to Mentwise, him and Gavin. They're great guys. They're like Australians living here, and they go, we helped build the performance center. And he was like number 2 at Dana. He goes, I've been here forever. I've been dying for waves in the ocean. It's what this is missing in Vegas. I think there's a lot of people that'll come out
for sure.
and check it out. Just got to show them about it and tell them about it.
So part of the wonderful package is who's going to be getting hooked up at the VIP Dana White seats at the Apex?
Whoever Aaron wants.
There you go.
Yeah.
Aaron's
Can
the
you
man.
tell him a little bit about that experience? Because Aaron's never been to.
Have you been to any UFC fight?
No, no. I mean, I grew up with a brother who was a man-child, so I
Yeah.
had a lot of my own stuff
Okay.
at home, but that was about it.
I mean, any fight in the big arena is amazing. The energy is crazy.
Yeah.
But you go over to the Apex, man. It's a different ball. You've been in there.
Yeah, it's life-changing. It's really
it's amazing.
cool.
There,
It's
first of all, there is not a bad seat in the Apex.
It's only 100, 200 people or something.
Yeah, I don't know the actual number. It might be a little more than that, but it feels like
intimate.
that. Yeah,
No, I don't think it's 200. There's no way to be 200.
it's
Way
intimate.
less.
It's intimate.
No, I think that's probably right around
Around 200?
Yeah,
Maybe 200.
It's interesting though, because you can literally hear the corner
Yeah.
shouting instructions,
Yeah, wow.
both corners.
Wow.
You hear the carnage. You hear
pops,
you'll have even more respect for those fighters when you watch a fight at the Apex because you.
It's
hear,
even like this a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
no
3 rounds
lie.
When you hear those shins clash together, bro.
yeah, the buzz.
No
See?
lie.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the fighters can even hear the commentators. So like Kevin Holland is a fighter in the UFC, and he's kind of known for like talking to his opponent a lot during the fight.
yeah.
And he there was a period where maybe his takedown defense wasn't so great. And I was at the fight when DC is commentating, Daniel Cormier is commentating, and I don't remember who Kevin was fighting, but the guy gets Kevin up against the fence, and DC says, now we're going to see, where Holland's takedown defense comes into question, something like that. We could hear, we heard it,
Yeah.
And Kevin goes on to like stuff like 3 takedowns in a row while he's up against the fence, to the point where Kevin literally goes like, DC, how's that takedown defense going right now? Like literally, fighters talking to the commentators.
Wow.
I mean, it's insane.
And when you're in
Apex is
Dana White's
amazing.
VIP section, where you guys will be, you are in a different area to where all of the plebs, to where all the are they paying fans? Because
now it used to be invite only.
Oh, wow.
But now one side you can purchase tickets, and then the other side is just invite only. And then on the invite only section, there's a Happy Dad sponsors the VIP room with the catered and
So you get to go in there, you get to have all the catered food, you get to meet everyone backstage.
Love it.
It's amazing. And on any given day, I mean, I was there a month ago. Tom Hardy, I think I text you. Tom Hardy was
the
literally
back of his
sitting-
head.
Yeah, I got a great shot of the back of his head.
It's like, look who I'm sitting behind.
I was too afraid
I know who it is.
Yeah, I was too afraid to walk around and say hi.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen Jared Leto in there. I've seen Tom Hardy. I've seen, Steve Will Do It. All those influencers, Bob Menery. I mean, just everybody. Anthony Joshua. You name them.
Yeah,
they've been
yeah.
in there.
Yeah, Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
He was there 1 minute,
George
and then he went
St.
like
Pierre.
that, and he was fucking gone.
Yeah.
You mean your girl disappeared too?
Hey?
Your girl disappeared too at the same time.
yeah, he wishes.
Yeah, it's fights at the Apex are
wow.
my favorite.
So we do appreciate you coming on as a sponsor for this month, and I'm going to spread the word on this big time. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to learn more about it, and I am going to start manifesting the day where you go, Marcus, bring the cameras down. It's opening fucking day.
yeah.
Bring the cameras down here. We're going to get you aboard. Now, will there be
Can you fly to Australia for the first one and then to California?
Oh, yeah.
You do a
Of
series?
course we
Marcus,
can. Can I bring John
up
Orlando?
Australia.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. So is there? You can obviously you'll have surfboard hire there.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, wetsuit, surfboards, you name it. Yeah.
Show up for a couple days, relax, go to the rainforest, surf a little, do some exercise, get some enjoyment. We'll get John out there.
I'm in.
Go for a
I'm
couple
coming.
days.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
I knew you were going to jump on
So
that.
listen. So first of all, it was awesome to meet you.
Hey, likewise.
And it's great to hear a familiar accent. Tori has
annoying,
said
but I like it.
nothing but amazing stuff about you.
Oh, good.
And he really wanted this focus of this podcast to be about you. And it has been. And I understand everything that he's told me about you, even though I've just met you. I can see why he wants to be in business with you, because you seem like a great bloke, and that your heart's in the right place, not just about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that this comes into it a bit, right?
Sure.
But there's got to be other things outside of just the money to make something successful.
That's right.
The way that I like to always finish up my show is that I like to ask my guests, sometimes they can answer the question, sometimes they can't. Aaron Travis, what is your message?
My message.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Love Jesus, go surfing.
That's a T-shirt.
That's a T-shirt.
It really is.
That is a T-shirt.
Coming straight from you, buddy. This is great. Yeah.
Aaron,
Thank you, mate.
Love Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
Tori.
Well,
Mark, thank you, brother.
John Orlando.
John Orlando, the boss.
The boss. Hey, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word about this podcast. It's the funnest podcast in Las Vegas right here at Sticky Paw Studios. This is Marcus Deegan for The Marcus Deegan Show. We're out. The Marcus Deegan Show.